So I'm going to go through on how to achieve full marks on your abstract station for your dermatology interview. Hi, my name is Dr.ErmaDerma and I'm a dermatology registrar. I got into dermatology in the most competitive round, as well as helping other people getting into dermatology training. And I'm going to go through the tips and techniques on what I've used and helped other people use get full or high marks in the abstract station. And this is a disclaimer, this is not a video on critical appraisal or research. So it's important to know the format of the abstract station so you can tailor your revision. For the research and academic station, you'll be presented with an abstract to which you would have 5 minutes to read and make notes on critical appraisal. And then after this, you'll have 7 minutes to summarize your abstract with your critical appraisal, where the interviewer will ask a few research questions thereafter. The research that the station usually presents are either randomized control studies, case control studies, cohort studies, or systematic reviews. More frequently, it's randomized control trials. The questions can be a range of definition questions like, what is type 2 error, or why is blending important? The other most common question can be the system or process of research, or how a particular research impacted you and your clinical practice. So here's some tips and techniques for your abstract station. Step 1. If you are a beginner at critical appraisal, I would advise you to go through the CASP tool. I'll put the link below in the description box. This is basically a checklist on what to go through on critically appraising research. So you just want to go on PubMed, filter the research that you want to select, and with every research article, use the CASP tool to critically appraise. The CASP website will also have courses and workshops if you really need more guidance on critical appraisal, which I strongly suggest you do. So step 2, once you have grasped the basics of critical appraisal, you need to develop the skill on reading the abstract in 5 minutes and summarizing it back. What I would advise is to filter out dermatology papers on PubMed with whatever study design you wish to practice. Choose papers within the last 3 years and start practicing critically appraising them. You can also choose journals like EADV, CED, and BJD are great to pick out research and abstracts to practice on. So as you're practicing summarizing your critical appraisal, you want to use a structure, and one structure is the PICO method. So P for population, I for intervention, C for control, and O for outcome. And then you want to give a few points on the strengths and limitations of your research. I would advise to give at least 3 strengths and 3 limitations, and also how this research will apply to your clinical practice. If you encounter any research terms that you're unsure of, or definitions, then write them down and learn the definitions off by heart, so they can ask you questions about research terms. Then you want to practice your standard research questions which they may ask you. I would advise that using the specialty interview book is a good one to practice the standard research questions, and make sure you've prepared your answers for each question. And then step 3, practice, either with a friend, in front of a mirror, and even AI. AI is such a great tool in practicing your critical appraisal. You can put that abstract in ChatGPT and ask AI to critically appraise that abstract. Of course, what I would say is take it with a pinch of salt, because sometimes AI is unreliable. So I wouldn't learn each answer word by word. You would need to do your own research as well and your own practice in critical appraisal. But if you do not have anyone to practice critical appraisal, I think AI can be a good tool. A candidate who I helped and had recently gave her interview got full marks on her research station. And this candidate advised, I actually just revised like what you suggested. I think the key is to practice with a friend regularly and time yourself. I gave myself 3 to 4 minutes to critically appraise the paper and answer at least 3 questions in the remaining time in each practice. And whenever you feel ready, I do practice sessions for anyone that wishes to prepare for their interview. I'll provide you feedback and resources to help you with your interview as well. I'll provide you the link on how to access the interview practice video. And if you're interested in this video, then you may want to check out the other videos on how to become a dermatology registrar, where I go through the overview of the interview. Good luck.